You're thinking about moving to the DFW. DFW isn't just a hub for businesses and technology. It's a place of diversity where many are migrating towards due to jobs, affordability, weather, schooling, just a better quality of life overall, where you don't have to worry about snow for half the year, but you will have to worry about other things. And those are the things that I'm gonna put emphasis on this video. So if you're thinking about moving to DFW, here's gonna be my honest thoughts on things that you should absolutely know. Dallas has consistently ranked as one of the top cities for job growth, making it a magnet for young professionals and entrepreneurs. Currently, it's the fourth biggest metro with the population under 7 million. It's on the verge of soon becoming the third largest metro by 2030, and by year 2100, which I know will be dead by then, it's said to surpass New York. Also for that year, it's predicted that Austin will be the second biggest metro and the third biggest metro will be Houston. Even though that's in the year 2100, you can see the trajectory of the DFW and Texas in general just by that research. It's not all rainbows and sunshine here. I know the main attractions will reel you in, but there are some very important things about living here that you need to know about. Hey guys, my name is Shanza and you're watching the Life in Dallas channel, where we talk about all things living in the Dallas metro, and your girl here is a real estate agent. So make sure to reach out to me regarding your buying and selling needs, or if you guys have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact me. All my contacts will be down in the description box below, and I'll be glad to connect with you. So the first thing that I want to talk about is the tornadoes / hail. You guys, we are technically Tornado Alley. So yeah, most of the tornadoes happen in Oklahoma, but we do get the after effects, okay? And we do have tornadoes that move from Oklahoma to here. In the recent year and a half, tornadoes have caused significant damage on people's roofs. I know those roofing companies are balling right now. There was a tornado that went through like the East Dallas metro area, and there was a lot of people's gates were knocked over. I know one of our neighbors, his tree, poor thing, he had just bought that house too, but he had this large tree in front of his house and it just split in half, and half of that tree just went on his roof. And yeah, those things are getting worse. I guess we can all admit that natural disasters are becoming a more common thing, but we do have several tornadoes, whether they're large or small or barely make any damage. We have several that do pass through here. Hail will also cause damage on your car, so most of the homes here have garages, and some apartments have those little carports. If you're coming here, you want to make sure to get a comprehensive type of car coverage, because that's very common here. You could be going down the highway and 10 minutes of hail will pass you by. You want to be protected, right? And those hails are big. Maybe a time we'll have a tornado that causes a little bit of damage, then we might not have another tornado for several months. In the past year or so, we've been having more heavy winds, tornadoes, and hails of that nature. Climate change is very real. Next thing I want to talk about, there's barely any scenery here. The DFW is pretty flat, okay? We do have some rolling hills here and there, especially around, I noticed around the lake areas, there's a lot of nice hills and elevation there, but for the most part, it's gonna be pretty flat. So the hiking that's gonna be going around is gonna be usually through the nature preserves and parks and things like that, but there's no mountain climbing and things of that nature. You won't see those nice scenic mountains. You'll pretty much see like flatness all throughout. Again, you may see some rolling hills here and there. There are some areas with a lot of elevation spread around Texas, but pretty much the DFW here, we don't really have that. We do really take advantage of the lakes and the nature and the parks that we have. Okay, we have parks for days, literally. We have so many parks, like sometimes I think, is this even necessary to have a park in every corner? Yeah, there's still tons of things that you can do outdoors. Next up, we have the Texas heat. You need to be well informed about the Texas heat because your face may melt off. You may get cooked outside, okay, if you're out there on a hot summer day, because this summer was literally so brutal. And this was like the first brutal summer in like the past 3-4 years, I'm not gonna lie. Temperatures were well in the hundreds for weeks. We got so happy when it went to like 95. We were like, yeah, this is good. Like, that's how desperate we got, that we thought that 95 was good. We were suffering out here. When I went out the door to go to my car, which was like literally 4 seconds, I would be sweating. Like, it felt like I was walking into an oven. That was so crazy, and we didn't have that much rain this summer too. Some summers are a little bit more moderate and they have a little bit more rain and things like that. But this summer was crazy. Like, I know that global warming is an issue, and every year we have like record amounts of heat across the US and even around the world. So we have prolonged summers, 4-ish months of hot, warm weather, right? And then we have short winters and then just decent amount of spring and fall. I love spring and fall. Winter, you guys may think that you won't need your coats and hats, but honey, let me tell you that the past 3 years, we've had over 3 inches of snow. And before that, we barely had 1.5 inch, 1 inch, maybe for like a day or two in the past. But the weather is getting crazier. And when we had that snowstorm, everything was closed, you guys. People cannot drive here in rain, let alone ice. Nobody's trying to die out here. When the roads are icy, there's a lot of accidents. So don't be alarmed if it snows a little bit or if there's ice on the roads. They're gonna probably close down the schools or things like that, or your work. We don't have the facilities to take care of inches and inches of snow because it doesn't happen in Texas. Even though this was about the heat, we just went ahead and talked about the whole weather, okay? Because I feel like the winter is something that you should all know about. But for many, that's a good thing because they would rather have more days of heat than more days of snow. They're just tired of the snow. They're tired of the cold because they want to enjoy outdoors. And they can't do that because it's snowing and icy for like 5-6 months. But just know that we do have all 4 seasons, okay? We just have longer summers, a little bit shorter winters, but our winters do get crucial, so keep that in mind. Another thing is that the DFW is very sports dense. Dallas metropolitan area is home to 6 major sports teams: the Dallas Cowboys, NFL, the Dallas Mavericks, NBA, Texas Rangers, which is Major League Baseball. They got the Dallas Stars, which is the National Hockey League, FC Dallas, which is the Major League Soccer. So they both have major and minor league teams, and I actually went to one of these games, and I'm not a sports person at all. I didn't know anything about sports. I thought a touchdown was in basketball. But when you actually go to those games, you guys, it's a whole different experience. So much fun, even though I didn't understand what was happening. And the fact that Messi came, oh my gosh, like I was not about to pay over $1,000 for a ticket to see him. But the fact that he was still here was so amazing, and that people got to experience the event. A lot of highly watched sport events happen here. I know cricket is also big here, and other various sports like tennis, volleyball, like things of that nature. There's always like teams, like apart from the professional teams, people always play as a community against other cities and all that. No matter what type of sports that you play, I believe you're gonna find your people here and you're gonna have a lot of fun, especially if you like going to games and things like that, because all around the year, there's always some type of game happening. And like I said, it's not just even on a professional level. College sports, high school sports, they treat high school sports like college sports, you guys. These parents are not playing when they're out there supporting their babies in the high school. Like these stadiums, they literally look like college stadiums. They're so big. A lot of time, these schools get to use these state-of-the-art facilities. That's amazing how there's so much here in regards to sports. So a lot of the sports fiends and people do migrate towards the DFW. Another thing that I have to let you know is people are big on religion here, okay? There are some God-fearing, God-loving people. And that really reflects in our community, because just my personal belief, I feel like as a society, we're moving away from being a decent human being. That's what I noticed as a generation. So being in a place where we're constantly reminded of our religion, constantly reminded to do good to other people, be good to your neighbors, be loving and caring and kind, being reminded about that through our places of worship, through our community, through the people that we meet, our peers, that really what makes us so unique, right? One of my clients came here, and when she landed here, the pilot said something about, thanking God and God blessing everybody. And she was like, I know this pilot did not just say God. Like in some places, like you can't even talk about God without being like prosecuted. And here people are not shamed to be religious. In fact, I feel like a lot of people are moving away from that liberal agenda. They want to be a little bit more conservative. They want to have God in their lives. They want to be able to raise their children in that type of environment. There's so many different types of places of worship. People will casually say like, God bless you, and just mention God in their sentences, and it's not alarming, and it's not, this person is trying to push religion down my throat. No, people are not going to do that, but just be aware that we're very God conscious, right? So no matter if you're a Jewish, a Christian, Hindu, or Muslim, all these religions, all these main religions teach how to be a decent human being, to treat others with kindness, treat people the way that you want to be treated, love your neighbors, love your family, be positive, do good, give back to your community, things like that. I genuinely do believe that does play a major part in the Southern hospitality aspect. Another thing is the traffic drivers. The traffic has gotten so much worse in the past year or so. And one thing I really love about Dallas, their highway system has become a blueprint for other cities because they're efficient in moving traffic and building as soon as they notice that there's some areas that are being more congested. They're pretty quick to get things going compared to other cities. Dallas is well planned out. It's much cleaner. And I'm thinking about Houston versus Dallas right now. I don't have beef with the Houston people. Dallas will always be number one. We have that amazing infrastructure in place in our highway systems. The highways are very intricate. The drivers here are pretty reckless. Even a couple days ago, I almost crashed into somebody because they just ran the stop sign and came right in front of me. Even though you're a good driver, you still have to be cautious about the road all the time because some people will literally just come out of nowhere. If you're driving on the highway, the leftmost lane is for people that drive fast. The rightmost lane is for people that drive the speed limit. So even if I'm going 10 miles above the speed limit in the fast lane, people are still passing me up. These people are going above 20. And then I noticed that people suck at using indicators. So the drivers can be a little reckless. I do think that they're not as reckless as some of the other states where they have like absolutely horrible drivers. But yeah, just be aware that it's a little bit more fast paced here. It has gotten a little bit more congested because a lot of the places that we go to, maybe the malls, the movie theater, some of the main places, grocery stores, they're starting to become a little bit more packed, okay? But then again, the DFW is very quick to make changes in infrastructure to make things flow much easier. So the next thing you should know about is the Southern hospitality. You guys, I'm not joking when I tell you that these people are so damn nice for what? Like, I'm trying to wonder why you're so nice to me for. Do you need something from me? Because I'm so not used to this. I came from a city that was very hostile. Everybody was to themselves, right? And then when I came here, it was a whole different atmosphere. I was in a much smaller city and I came here and I was truly shocked at how nice people were. Now, before I have lost my wallet, and every time I lost my wallet, I got it back with no money in it. And then I remember one time I lost my wallet here and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm not even getting that back. Then it was actually returned to me with everything in it, which was so amazing to me. I feel like a lot of people here believe in the notion of you do something good to somebody and good comes to you. That's like what a lot of people live by. When I first came to DFW, I was a very reserved person. Like, I would not speak unless I was spoken to. But now I'm out here, you guys, randomly sparking conversations with people that I would have never had the courage to do. And because of that, I've made some great friends and had some great networking opportunities. I really like the positive and inviting energy that people have here. It really puts your mind at ease and kind of relaxes you because people are not devious, people are not plotting against you or in competition with you like in some of these other cities where it's a little bit more hostile. People are more worried about themselves. They don't care about making friends or doing all that kind of stuff. But here, people, they want to have fun. They're always throwing parties and get-togethers and all this crazy stuff. Maybe somebody at a restaurant will say, hey, honey, how's it going, sweetheart? Something like that. They're not hitting on your man, okay? People are just nice like that. And I have to let you know because that was a shocker to some family members that are in New York. They're like, why are people so nice here? People will strike up a conversation with you anywhere and you can become friends so easily. If you have never had allergies before, congratulations, you're gonna have them now. There's a 58% chance, no, I'm just playing, I made that up, but there is a chance that you can come here and start experiencing allergies even though you have not before. I used to live in Texas, just in a different city. I never had allergies. Until I came to Dallas, I started getting more allergies. Now, I will tell you that Dallas, the city, is one of the worst in air quality. Dallas, the city specifically, not the suburbs. So just be aware if you don't have allergies or if you do have allergies, they might get worse or you might get allergies if you have never gotten them before. The next thing I want to talk about is the critters. Now, we're in Texas, we have land for days, and with land comes critters of all sorts. Here, I've encountered several, some being crickets, June bugs, spiders, tons of spiders, wasps, things of that nature, bees, a lot of gnats. Okay, those gnats, they're annoying. Snakes, definitely snakes. So you'll encounter more of these if you're near green belts or a lot of land or trees and things like that. But if you're like in an area where it has like buildings all over and like limited green space in your direct area, then you might not encounter all those during the summer. But it's a possibility. I live near a green belt and snakes are common in people's backyard, especially during the summer, okay? Snakes that really weren't even harmful. So anybody in our neighborhood that was scared of snakes, they would post in the Facebook page and they're like, hey, somebody come get the snake. And then there will always be like this neighborhood snake people. There was one lady who was like a snake expert. Now we have more snake people. And these community members would gladly come to your house and take that snake off your hands. Yeah. So So I love that aspect. Fire ants go crazy here. In fact, I've been bitten a lot by fire ants these past couple of weeks. You better make sure that you're not stepping on a pile of ants because they do make those houses pretty fast. Those are really efficient ants. Yeah, just make sure, especially with little kiddos running around in your backyard or anything like that. So you want to be aware of those things. Thing about the DFW that you have to know is the DFW is huge, okay? The Dallas Metro is separate from the Fort Worth Metro. So these are two metros that are combined. So it's not just one metro, which makes us so much more powerful and puts us at a better position of achieving greatness compared to some of the other metros here in Texas. And then the fact that we have so much room to spread out, you guys, which is amazing. There's over 200 suburbs for the DFW area combined. So that's a lot of cities to pick from. And if you do need help, make sure to contact me and I'll be more than happy to help you narrow down what cities are going to be the best pick for you. But yeah, it gets really intimidating at first, but just know that Dallas is its own metro with its own suburbs, and then Fort Worth is its own metro with its own suburbs, okay? So I just had to put that in there real quick. So the next thing is you're gonna need a car because public transportation, very limited. So if you're near the city centers, like the Dallas area, even parts of Plano, Arlington, Irving area, Fort Worth area, if you're in those areas, yeah, you'll get transportation. You get buses, trains, things like that. But as you spread out from the city centers, your transportation options are going to be less and less. Some main areas like malls or grocery stores and things like that, the bus can take you if you're near the city centers. But yeah, for the most part, you're going to need a car. I know that was a major con for us, especially when we had first moved to Texas from New Jersey and we used to live in the Austin area. And we needed a car to go everywhere. You're going to be driving long distances because DFW is huge compared to some of the other cities that you may be moving from. Right? To me, a typical drive to work is like 45 minutes to an hour. Okay, because I go all around the DFW and to get to one place to another, it can easily take up an hour. Another thing is that we have high property taxes. Hear me out for a second. Even though we have high property taxes, we don't have any state income tax. So the state has to find another way to tax us, hence high property taxes. Our governor, Greg, has signed a $18 billion tax cut for Texas property owners. He's going to be making cuts to the school taxes for all property owners and dropping the property taxes an average of more than 40% for 5.7 million Texas homeowners. That's one of many bills that went into effect recently. Now, on average, I've seen property taxes be around 2-ish% to 3%, give or take, okay? Some cities will be 3%, some low 2%. Some people justify paying this tax because of the quality of life that they get, right? So you're paying towards the schools that your children are going to go to, you're paying towards the roads and amenities that you're going to be using within the city as well. A lot of times people justify that as, okay, we're getting a better quality of life and our children are growing up in a better environment instead of paying 1.5 in taxes and you're not happy at all. So people are willing to make that sacrifice here and justify it because of that reason. There's also homestead exemptions as well to relieve that tax bill. And if that property is your primary homestead, you get a homestead exemption. If you're 65 years old or disabled, you get another exemption. So there's exemptions out there for you. And then you also have the ability to protest your property taxes as well. So you can get somebody to do that for you. You could do it yourself, but there's that option as well, which will help relieve that tax bill, okay? Overall, these were just some of the top things that I wanted people to know about before they moved their way down here to the DFW. And if you are looking to make your way down here to the DFW, then I'll be glad to help you guys. All my contacts will be down in the description box below, whether you're looking to buy or sell or need any advice or anything. Don't hesitate to contact me, you guys. And in my personal opinion, the positive definitely outweighs all the negative. Make sure to check out my pros and cons videos and some of my other videos that do share the positive things about living in the DFW. But you guys, my channel is a resource for you. I go around the DFW area in different suburbs and communities and share what it's like living there. So make sure to check that out and I will see you in my next video.